Hello, everyone, and welcome to my video of what we've learned so far in the readings throughout Module 1. So, today I want to talk about how science fiction functions not just as entertainment, but as a lens through which we can examine human imagination, technology, and even our own society. I'll be reflecting on both the fiction readings from the Wesleyan Anthology of Science Fiction and some of the nonfiction content we've explored in this module, including essays on the history of genre and the relationship between science and imagination. So, why does science fiction matter? When I first read the nonfiction pieces like Allison's Science Fiction Before 1900 and Shippey's Learning to Read Science Fiction, one idea really stuck with me, and that was that science fiction is as much about what if as it is about what is. In my opinion, it encourages us to consider futures, technologies, and ethical dilemmas that don't yet exist or may never exist, but they both help us understand the world we live in. For example, in Michael Zeiser's essay on speculative infrastructures shows how imagining futuristic systems, whether for energy, communication, or even social control, can give us a framework for analyzing present day problems. So, the great thing about science fiction is that it doesn't just predict the future, but it makes us think critically about the decisions we make today. So, moving into the stories themselves, what struck me about Nathaniel Hawthorne's Rappaccini's Daughter and H.G. Wells' The Star is really how early science fiction explored human ego and our relationship to science. Now, in Hawthorne's story, for example, it isn't just about a poisonous garden, it's about isolation, morality, and the ethical consequences of experimentation. Now, Wells, on the other hand, uses the cosmic scale of the star to explore human vulnerability and really the limits of our understanding as humans. Then you also have E.M. Foster's The Machine Stops, which feels eerily relevant today, in my opinion. It's a cautionary tale about over reliance on technology and the loss of human connection, which is very important nowadays in the digital age. And likewise, C.L. Moore's Shambleau and Leslie F. Stone's The Conquest of Gola expand the genre further, showing us alien encounters and alternative social structures, both of which challenge our assumptions about gender, power, and culture. And it was really eye opening for me as well. When reading these stories together, I also noticed a pattern. And the pattern was that science fiction often uses extraordinary circumstances, whether futuristic technology or alien worlds, to hold a mirror up to society. It's a kind of intellectual playground where we can safely explore ethical and philosophical questions without the real world implications of such experimentations. So, what's fascinating is how the nonfiction videos like PBS's When Science Fiction Becomes Science Fact and also National Geographic's discussion on science fiction inspiring real science really reinforce these themes that I've discussed previously. When I watch them, I realize that science fiction doesn't just reflect society, it can actively shape it. Now, engineers, scientists, and inventors are inspired by ideas that first appeared in science fiction, oftentimes. And that's because the genre is, in a sense, a rehearsal place for future innovation. Ogg and Renstrom emphasize that science fiction also teaches us problem solving skills. It trains us to think critically and creatively, imagining consequences and solutions for scenarios that don't yet exist. That perspective really complements the way the science fiction stories use speculative situations to probe human behavior and societal norms. Personally, I found that engaging with both fiction and nonfiction in this module has made me more aware of how interconnected imagination, ethics, and technology are. For example, The Machine Stops isn't just a story about a futuristic machine, In actuality, it's a warning about complacency. Similarly, the essays on speculative infrastructures highlight that what we build socially or technologically carries real world consequences. My opinion, it was also exciting to think about how these early science fiction works, many written over 100 years ago, still resonate today. And the human concerns they explore are timeless, and that would include curiosity, fear, ambition, and morality, among things. And pairing them with modern analyses and videos help me see the genre as really a living conversation between the past, present, and future. To wrap up, science fiction is more than mere escapism from the real world. It's actually a critical tool for thinking, imagining, and for questioning. From Hawthorne's morally complex gardens to Wells' really catastrophic celestial events, and from Forster's cautionary technological visions to Moore and Stone's explorations of otherness, the genre challenges us to engage with both possibility and responsibility. Now, as I continue with this course, I'm really looking forward to see how these narratives, alongside with the analytical frameworks from our readings, will help me not only understand science fiction as a genre, but also understand the broader ethical and imaginative questions it raises, and also hopefully help my writing of my own, as I do enjoy writing science fiction in my free time. If you made it this far, thank you for listening to this video, and I hope it sparks your own curiosity about science fiction and how it shapes the way we think about our world and our future. Thank you.